Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'd like to wish you a very warm welcome to Football Romance on Tour's first trip of the new season, and first trip ever, in fact. Now, those of you who have read the Football Romance About page, all two of you, thanks Mum, thanks Dad, may have noticed my comment about being the son of a Frenchman. Now, today I am in the French town of Annecy, my dad's hometown, which was like a second home to me when I was a kid, and a place which is very close to my heart. Now, what can I tell you about Annecy? Well, I could give you a whole bunch of stats and facts about it. It's 22 miles south of Geneva, 62 miles east of Lyon. There are about 50,000 inhabitants in the town, a figure which rises to over 140,000 if you include the whole metropolitan area. Now, this is all very interesting, but the thing that you really need to know, and the most important thing about Annecy, is that it looks like this. There are stunning views of some of the French Alps' highest mountains which overlook the town and its beautiful lake. We've got canals which maybe don't quite put Venice to shame, but they're definitely up there. Well, if you head along to the old town, you'll find romantic bridges, quaint alleyways and some really delicious food. Now, what am I doing here? Well, the original plan for this weekend was to head across to Lyon for the League One match between Lyon and Bordeaux. But for various reasons the plan has changed, and instead I'm going to head up to Annecy's fourth tier French National Amateur Championship match with Chasselay. A real clash of the titans. So, let's go! So, I've made my way up to Le Parc des Sports, English translation Sports Park, very original, home of Annecy FC and formerly of Evian, who played in League One between 2011 and 2014. Before suffering 2 relegations in a row and then going bust. Back to Annecy though, they were formed in 1927. The most successful period in their history came in the late 80s, early 90s, with a 9th place finish in League 2 in 1991, their best ever finish. They also had some financial issues in 1993, however, and they were forced to reform. So they spent the last 23 years working their way back up the French regional leagues. Coming on to today's opponents are Chasselay. Perhaps the most interesting thing about them is that their stadium is named after hometown boy Ludovic Julie, who most of you remember playing for France, Lyon, Monaco and Barcelona, amongst others. The two teams have started the season in pretty similar fashion. Annecy have picked up 4 points from their first 4 league games, while Chasselay have picked up 5. So we'll see how they got on today, and I'll let you know if I manage to get any pie in Bovril. Right, so it's half time in the big match. Not been a classic so far, I'm not going to lie to you. 0-0 at half time, chances been pretty few and far between. Annecy did have a pretty decent effort from the edge of the area, which just went over the bar. Chasselay have looked slightly more dangerous when they've been coming forward, especially down the right hand side. They have actually managed to get in behind a couple of times, but the ball over the top has just been played a little bit too hard, run through the goalkeeper. There's been loads of offside decisions. Perhaps that could bode well for the second half. If a runner from deep can time the run properly, then we might actually get somebody one-on-one through the goalkeeper. We'll see what happens anyway. Pretty tough conditions for the players, pretty tough conditions for the fans, as you can probably see from my face. We're sitting in the stand which the sun is shining directly onto. The fact that there was a water break midway through the first half, I think kind of sums things up. So definitely will not be needing the Bovril, but we'll see if things improve any in the second half. Let's hope so. So I'm recording this the day after the night before, because I had to make a bit of a quick exit from the stadium and didn't have time to do it last night. In any case, my wish for a better second half came true to a certain degree. The game finished 1-1, both sides scoring a penalty. Chasselay took the lead midway through the second half, but Annecy replied within a few minutes. And they probably could have gone on to win the game in the later stages. One of the Chasselay players suffered a nasty looking injury, and they'd already made their 3 substitutions, so they actually finished the game with 10 men. So I think if it had gone on for another 10 or 15 minutes, Annecy probably would have found a winner. Wasn't massively impressed with the quality of either team, I have to say. Both of them really struggled to build any decent attacks through the middle of the pitch. and even when they managed to get the ball wide and cross it into the box, there wasn't a great deal of quality coming in. There was a really good chance for Annecy towards the end when a delivery came in and a header just went wide. It was one of those ones that kind of the keeper was rooted to the spot and it kind of bounced just wide of the post in slow motion almost. So they were maybe a little bit unlucky in the end, but all in all, a draw was probably a fair result. In terms of the match day experience, as you probably see from the videos and the pictures, the stadium looked like a little bit of a ghost town, which I kind of half expected, to be honest. I think it's about a 15,000 capacity stadium, and there were maybe 500 or 600 fans in attendance. I think the atmosphere wasn't really helped either by the fact that there was a running track around the pitch, so we're pretty far away from the action. That never really helps. But I mean, things did pick up in the second half. The fans got into a bit more, partly because of the fact that the game improved. Also, I think because the sun went down and you could actually see what was going on. And finally, because I think most of the punters had 3 or 4 beers by that stage, so that definitely helped matters. In any case, it's been a brilliant trip, not specifically a brilliant match, but I think that will change in the future. I've got a few plans for games to go to in the coming weeks and months, so my next one will definitely be in a very different setting to this one, that's for sure. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next few. So that's it for now. Au revoir.